Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Steph's Movies and Music. I am, of course, your host, Steph. And yeah, another music hall or whatever. I haven't really ever came up with a good name for these things. This video is going to cover the last 2 months. So June and July is what this video is all about. Just June and July. Got a really good selection of vinyl. This is pretty much full. It's not quite all the way full, but it's pretty much there. And I also got a bag full of CDs, as well as one PlayStation 2 game, I believe, to show off. I don't think any movies, I don't think. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, a lot of these CD cases aren't in very good condition. Some of them are in decent condition, but most of them aren't. I think I'm going to buy a bunch of replacement jewel cases on Amazon, because I think that's something you could do and replace a lot of them. We're going to start off with, there's another Jane's Addiction album in here somewhere, but this is Ritual de la Habitual. This one's in really rough shape. The CD itself is decent, I think. Actually, it's got quite a bit of scratches too, but I think it should work. I haven't tested any of them. I think this is a double platinum selling album. Jane's Addiction is one of those bands that I haven't personally discovered yet. I know of them, I know about them. I know that Perry Farrell is talented, and I've heard he's a really, really nice guy, very considerate of other people. And you know, of course, I know Jane Says, and you know, one or two of their other songs. But honestly, if you ask me how does Jane Says go, I couldn't even hum it for you. Honestly, I don't really know exactly how it goes. Okay, now we have Jackal. This is their debut album. This is a platinum selling album. It has, let's see, Down on Me. I think that's probably their biggest known song. The Lumberjack as well. That has a chainsaw guitar solo, which is interesting. It's basically just some guy with a chainsaw going to ham. It's nothing really that special. I just now noticed track number 11, which is the last song on this album, is called She Loves My Cock. That's pretty on the nose there, eh, Jekyll? Alright, now we got Queensryche, Empire. You could totally tell this was done with some early 90s computer, you know, art program. It did come out in 1990, so that might be what it is. I'd like to think that they purposely made it pixelated, but you never know. Who knows how big their budget was for this album art. On here you got Jet City Woman and Silent Lucidity. And anybody listening, Silent Lucidity's, I guess, a power ballad in a way. So we got Glass Tiger. This probably, I would say, is glam metal. Thin Red Line, Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. That was one of their hits. Someday, I believe, was another hit for them. This band has had, I believe, 4 top 40 hits, and this is a gold-selling album. Unfortunately, after this, that's pretty much the most success they have, especially in the United States. I think their next album had 1 or 2 top 40 hits, but they were like, you know, between the top 30 and top 40. So this is basically the pinnacle of their career, unfortunately. By the way, this Queensryche album is a triple platinum selling album. That is also their pinnacle. They had a couple platinum albums before that, and they even have, I believe, 1 platinum album after that. And after that, I think that's kind of when their success started to wane. Here's that other Jane's Addiction album, Nothing's Shocking. I think this is another double platinum selling album. I don't really... Oh, Jane Says. Jane Says is on here. So I guess that's their first album? I'm not sure. This is Skid Row's second album, Slave to the Grind. This, of course, has Slave to the Grind and Monkey Business, Quicksand Jesus, Wasted Time. I feel like this album's kind of underrated. Monkey Business, Slave to the Grind, and Wasted Time are absolute bangers. At least they should be. This is a double platinum selling album here in the United States. Let's see, Hardline, Double Eclipse. I don't think this ended up being certified anything here. but it's notable because it's got Neil Schon, the guitarist from Journey, Dean Castronovo, I think, is in it as well, and he's also in Journey. Well, now he's in Journey. He's been in Journey since, I think, the 90s. There's a couple other talented musicians in here. I don't really know much about this band. I don't know what their hits are. I don't think they had any top 40s. I don't think that's certified to anything. I could be wrong. Here's another one, Contraband. This might be gold. I don't know. I'll see. All right, we got No Doubt, Rocksteady. This actually has 3 of their biggest hits as far as charts go, like, you know, Billboard charts go. It's also a double platinum selling album. Alrighty, this is Bullet Boys. This is another one of those glam metal CDs I was talking about. This is their second album. Wasn't certified anything. No top 40 hits. The band themselves never had a top 40 hit. Alright, Oasis, Be Here Now. I believe, let's see, this is 97. I believe this is the album after the one with Wonderwall on it. I believe this is a platinum selling album. Another glam metal band, Pretty Boy Floyd. This is Leather Boys with Electric Toys, which is pretty disturbing. Of course, they have the title track on here, and then they have a couple other songs. Your Mama Won't Know. I don't know what the singles are. I think they might have had a couple songs that like barely charted on the Billboard Hot 100. I believe this is their first album. This came out in 1989. I don't think it's gone gold or anything like that. I'm sure it charted on the Billboard Hot 200 on the album chart for the Billboard has. I don't know what number it charted as, but yeah. Here we got Tiger Lily from Natalie Merchant. Another band that not a band, but this is another artist I haven't really dived into. Don't really know a lot about them. I've heard she's really talented, and she's also the lead singer of 10,000 Maniacs. I think she still is. I'm not sure if she left since then or not. But I've never dove into her solo career. This is her debut album. This is a 5 times platinum selling album, so it's a pretty big deal. This came out in 95. I don't know what the singles are. I'm sorry. Firehouse. So the thing about Firehouse, and I'm sure I've told this story before, I've met 3 out of the 4 original members of this band. The singer, the guitarist, and the drummer. All of them seem to be nice guys. The bass player is also a really nice guy, but he's not original. He joined in, I think, 2008, which at the time was like 15 years. I mean, you know, it was only a year ago that I met them. And he was really nice too. They all, I was like the second to last one to meet them. It was like they already met like 50 people before me, and I didn't even pay for the VIP little lanyard thing. I didn't even have a pass to get in there, so I figured I might as well hop online, and the worst that could happen is that the security guard tells me to beat it, you know. So I figured I'll just take a chance and see what happens. And I'm pretty sure the band noted. Nobody ever stopped me. They never pulled me online. I went in there. That the band was standing there. Pretty sure they noticed I didn't have the right credentials, but they decided to just go ahead and meet me anyway. None of them really said much to me. They all shook my hands. They all crowded around me. We took a picture. I don't have the picture anymore. I never posted it because I'm a dumbass. I really wish, because of course, you know, if you don't have a picture of it, then it never really happened. That's okay. I don't really care about proving myself to other people. I didn't have anything for them to sign, and I was wearing this leather jacket, so I had them sign this. So there's the guitarist, bass player, and the drummer. I don't know which one's which, but that's all there. And then over here's the singer, CJ Snare. Unfortunately, he has since passed. He was only like 61, 62, something like that. And he died under very mysterious circumstances. I have my thoughts, but I'll keep those to myself. Anyway, going back to the album here. This is their debut album, self-titled. I think the singles are All She Wrote, Shake and Tumble, Don't Treat Me Bad, And Love of a Lifetime was definitely a single. Love of a Lifetime went to number 5. Don't Treat Me Bad went to number 19. All She Wrote and Shake and Tumble, I think, were outside the top 40, but they still charted. They played a lot of songs. Most of their set list was off this album. This is the double platinum selling album. Alright, yeah, we have a really interesting one here. And I got it because it was just so interesting, and also it's something I've never seen before. And I think other people would be perplexed by it, as I was. This is Soul Asylum, Clam, Dip, and Other Delights. I don't think there were any hits on this. I don't think it's certified anything. It came out in 1988 on Twin Tone Records, which is a record label that I've never heard of. I think it's an EP because there's only 6 songs on it. Really interesting. Okay, so this is Actual Miles from Henley's Greatest Hits. Well, it's a greatest hits album. It's a compilation album called Actual Miles. I love this photo of Don Henley cosplaying as a car salesman. I think that's so funny. It's got everything on it. Dirty Laundry, Boys of Summer, All She Wants to Do Is Dance. Those are all top 10 hits. Not Enough Love in the World, I believe, was a top 40. Sunset Grill, The End of the Innocence, Last Worthless Evening, New York Minute, I Will Not Go Quietly, The Heart of the Matter, The Garden of Allah, You Don't Know Me at All, and Everybody Knows. So pretty much all of his hits up to the point in 1995 is when this came out. So yeah, I love this. I'm a huge Don Henley fan. He's one of those guys that I don't think I would really want to meet in person. Of course, if I had the opportunity to, I probably still would, just because why wouldn't I? But I'm pretty sure I would probably be kind of disappointed because I've heard that he's not a great person, which breaks my heart because I love his music so much. But anyway, and I don't know what this is certified. I'm not gonna guess. Alright, next up is Hootie and the Blowfish, Fairweather Johnson. Just saw them last month at the time of recording. June 1st is what I saw. Great show. Still sound amazing. This is their second album. It came out in 96. This is a triple platinum selling album. There's at least 2 top 40 hits on here. Old Man and Me and Tuckerstown is also a top 40 hit. This one's a lot different from the others, but Faith, Faith Hill, Faith. This came out in, let's see, 98. It's got This Kiss. That's the only one I really recognize, actually. It's This Kiss. I don't know what this is certified. I'm not gonna guess. Faith Hill has a couple songs that I really do like. As much of a man as that doesn't make me, I'm not afraid to admit it. She's very talented. I really like her cover of Piece of My Heart by Big Brother and the Holding Company. She did a really good country rendition of that song. I talked about Rat earlier. Here's their album Detonator. This came out in 1990. I don't know. Let's see. Lovin' You's a Dirty Job. It's really the only one I really recognize on it. I'm gonna say this is a gold selling album. Rat had a pretty good run. They had a lot of songs as far as Billboard goes. They were a lot bigger on like rock stations and whatnot, of course. But as far as Billboard Hot 100 goes, a lot of them were like in the 80s and the 70s and 60s. They had some in the 50s, and they did have 2 top 40 hits. Lay It Down went to number 40, and then Round and Round went to number 15 or 14 or something like that. So those are their 2 top 40s. This is a gold album. Another thing about this band, I really like their album artwork. Really cool to look at. I like this album artwork too. This is interesting. Melissa Etheridge, Lucky. So that's kind of cool. The whole album is really cool looking, really colorful. The CD, they really didn't They really went all out. Of course, this one's a lot more scratched up, which is unfortunate. Let's see, Lucky. Of course, it has Lucky on it. Breathe. Those are the only ones I really recognize. When did this come out? 2004. I don't know if this is certified anything. I am going to guess gold. I've seen her play live. She's amazing. Still kicking ass. Alright, this next album is a pretty big deal. Santana, Supernatural. This has Smooth with Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 on it. And Maria Maria. I think both of those songs, Smooth and Maria Maria, went to number 1, I'm pretty sure. And I think they might have had another top 40 hit on here. They have Love of My Life with Dave Matthews. I just saw them on July 27th. Put on a great show. Counting Crows opened up, and they did a really good job too. But Santana really did a great job. The band as a whole, everybody in that band is talented in their own right. This is a diamond selling album. Alright, En Vogue. Funky Divas. Sorry. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Let's see. My Lovin' You're Never Gonna Get It. Free Your Mind. Desire, I think might have been a hit. Giving Him Something He Can Feel. Give It Up, Turn It Loose. Yeah, there you go. This came out in 92. This is a triple platinum selling album. I've also seen them before. They do an amazing job. I think only 3 of them are original now. But all of them still did an amazing job. They didn't miss a beat. They all didn't even look like they were struggling at all, and they were all belting out their vocals. Of course, nowadays, you have AI and, auto-tune and other things like that. All those things can be really discreet now, and they will fool you. It's really easy. I was in the 6th row. So when you're close enough, you could kind of actually hear their actual voices. Not to say that they were using autotune or AI or anything, but what I'm saying, when you get so close, you could actually hear their voices, their singing voices, which then of course go into the microphone and then out the speakers and everything. They sounded great. They opened up for TLC and Shaggy. Actually, it was Sean Kingston, then En Vogue, then TLC, and then Shaggy. I think Shaggy should have went on before TLC, but whatever. Alright, now we have Nickelback. This is another band that I have seen that did a great job on stage as well. This is The Long Road. Let's see, what's on this one? Someday, Figured You Out. Those are the only ones I recognized. I think they played both of those when I saw them. I'm pretty sure this is a pretty big album. I wouldn't be able to tell you what it's certified. Came out in 2003. Alright, we got 2 more CDs and then we're moving on to vinyl. Okay, Young MC, Stone Cold Rhythm. If I remember right, he was pretty big for about 5 minutes. And then I think by the time his next album came out, kind of died off. This came out in 89. The only one that I recognize, and I think the only song by him that I've ever heard, is Bust a Move, which is a pretty good song. I think Principal's Office was another hit for him. I wouldn't be able to tell you what this is certified. I think it was like I said, I think it was a pretty big album for its time, but I couldn't tell you what it is. Okay, another Melissa Etheridge album. This one's called Skin. This one looks pretty cool too. Melissa Etheridge was quite the looker back in the day. Yes, I know she's a lesbian, but which of course there's nothing wrong with. Of course, I have lesbian friends. Nothing wrong with it. Love lesbians. They're fun to be around. Because in a way, they're kind of just like, I might get in trouble for saying this, but the lesbians that I know portray themselves as like just another guy that you go to, talk to about anything. It's not weird, and at the same time, it's like they also have girly things they could talk to. So it's kind of like they're kind of transparent with either gender. So, you know. Next up is the vinyl, but before I forgot that was there. Before I show that off, there's this PlayStation 2 game, Outrun 2006, Coast to Coast. I've heard great things about this. This is in Metal Jesus Rock's Hidden Gems video for probably original Xbox, probably, and I think it's also in his buying guide for either the PlayStation 2 or the original Xbox. Came out on both. It's a Sega game. It's a very good game, very polished Sega game. I guess this came out in 2006, which is crazy to think about. 2006 PlayStation 2 games. I think they were making PlayStation 2 games until like 2008, which once again makes sense because it came out in 2000, and about 8 years is about how long a system's life goes for usually. They really only go for like 5 nowadays, but I thought, it's just crazy that, I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. Next up is vinyl, which I've been talking about now. So some of these came from Half Price Books, some of them came from Slackers, some of them came from other places. This one was mailed to me. Bought it off of, this is Ace Frehley, 10,000 volts. I bought it from his website. This is a limited edition, an indie retail exclusive, 180 gram vinyl, blue and red with silver and black splatter. I think there's only I think it was like 800 of them that are like this that were made. It is a gatefold. I haven't taken it out of its shrink wrap yet. I'm gonna refrain from doing that for the time being. They had a few other colored variants of this album, but this one, they had a cooler looking. They did have one other one that looked really, really, really cool, but it was already sold out. This one looks amazing too. I try to get the limited editions if they have them, for one, and a lot of times it's like your basic kind of red or yellow or clear, and I have a lot of vinyl that's already like that, so I kind of lose the appeal unless it's super limited and I feel like it's going to be worth some money someday, which in most cases this probably will. Pretty cool. I think it came with like a guitar pick or something, which was really cool too. It came with something. I forget. It's probably in the bottom of this. I don't know. Oh, there's a couple more CDs in here. Okay, let's go over those real quickly. It's not in good condition. Alright, well this is Don Henley, Inside Job. This was at Goodwill, and it was 96 cents. It might have even been half off. Well, the CD case could really use a replacement, and the cover was backwards. Anyway, yeah, I mean, once again, I figured, 96 cents, I could replace the CD case, the jewel case. I really do need to replace the jewel case, though. This is probably the worst one that I have. But yeah, Inside Job. This is a platinum selling album. I think the only Billboard kind of hit that it has on it is Taking You Home, I want to say. Yep, Taking You Home, number 2. And even that really only went to like number 54 or something. Now we have Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Greatest Hits. This was $2.54, but once again, it might have been half off. I don't know. This has, it's a Greatest Hits album, so of course it's going to have Night Moves, Turn the Page, Hollywood Nights, still the same, Old Time Rock and Roll. We've got Tonight. Here you go, Eagles on the Border. So I'm trying to get every single Eagles album, especially because there are just so few of them, and each of them have their own reasons to own. Although I think this one has the least amount of hits, honestly. This has Already Gone and The Best of My Love, which I believe are both hits. I think this is a double platinum selling album. Oh wow, Rubber Soul from the Beatles. Couldn't tell you what this is certified at all. This is probably first pressing, or if not, then one of the first ones. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Kind of trying to get all 12 of them, all 12 of the US ones. Little Feat, Hoi Hoi. Interesting. Don't know anything about Little Feat really. I know they're one of those, a really old band. I don't know what this is certified. I don't know anything really about it. Anyway, this is Deep Purple, Who Do We Think We Are? Deep Purple is another one with really cool looking album art. I'm gonna say this is probably a gold selling album. Alright, Little River Band, Time Exposure. I think this was one of their last hit albums. 1981. I want to say this is a platinum album. Alright, we got Night Ranger here. You Could Still Rock in America, Sister Christian, When You Close Your Eyes. All three of those are top 40 hits. No, that's not really true. You Could Still Rock in America, I'm pretty sure went to like number 50 or 54 or 51 or something like that. When You Close Your Eyes went to number like 8 or 9, or no, I think it went to like number 14. And then Sister Christian went to number 5, something like that. This is a platinum selling album. Alright, Rod Stewart, $4. I've been holding off on getting Rod Stewart albums. Don't really know why. I guess it's just because they're common enough that it's like I don't really need to worry about getting them. They're also relatively cheap. I never really see them for over $10. This one's $4. So yeah, this is A Night on the Town. Let's see, Tonight's the Night, Gonna Be Alright. First Cup is the Deepest. Killing of Georgie, Part 1 and 2. Those are the ones that I recognize. I think all three of those are hits. Wouldn't be able to tell you what numbers they went to. Night on the Town, I don't know. I'm gonna guess that I don't know, maybe a platinum selling album. Alright, here we go. Jefferson Starship, Spitfire. This, I believe, is a gold selling album. This is another band that I've seen live. I've seen a few other of these live. I've seen Rod Stewart live. Alright, this is Genesis, Foxtrot. I don't know why they have the outer sleeve on the outside, or the inner sleeve on the outside. This is one of their earlier albums. This was $18, so I probably paid a little bit too much for this. Can't really tell you much about this album, honestly. I think it's a gold selling album. It's one of their earlier albums. Alrighty, speaking of older albums that I probably can't tell you too much about, Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request. I wouldn't be able to tell you what this is certified. I have my guesses, but I think I'll probably be wrong, so I'll just keep them to myself. Alright, After the Gold Rush, Neil Young. This is another one of those artists that I kind of refrain from getting albums because they're common enough. Well, not super common, but whenever I do find them, they tend to be on the cheaper side. And it's not one of those artists that I really have dove into yet. I haven't really personally discovered them. I was talking about that earlier. I know this is a pretty big deal of an album, though. I want to say this is probably a platinum selling album, but it might be more than that. I'm going to say I'm probably wrong on that one. Primitive Love from Miami Sound Machine. This, of course, is Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine. This is a pretty big deal of an album, I want to say. I couldn't really tell you what the hits are off this, but I know there are hits on this album. I think this is probably their best selling album, or one of them for sure. This was $6 at Slackers. I'm gonna take a guess and say this is a 4 times platinum selling album, because for whatever reason that sounds right. Speaking of best selling albums, We have No Jacket Required from Phil Collins. This is, I'm going to say, by far the best-selling album that he has to offer. It's probably not my favorite album, but it does have a lot of heavy hitters on it. It's just Sowito. I Don't Want to Know, which wasn't really a big hit. I think it went to like number 39, so it was just barely top 40 hit. Don't Lose My Number, I'm going to say was a hit. Take Me Home, I think went to like number 6 or something. Sowito, I think was a number 1 hit. And I think Don't Lose My Number was another number 1 hit, I'm going to say. This came out in 1985. This was after, I think this was his 3rd album. So that was after Face Value, which had In the Air Tonight. And Hello, I Must Be Going, or something like that, I think. I don't know, but I didn't buy this for me. I already had this album, I'm pretty sure. I bought it for my friend Raven. That is a 12 times platinum selling album. Okay, now last 2 albums. Both of them by the same artist. This is War. This is one of those artists that I was surprised to find because I just never see them out and about. What is this? The Music Band? War, the Music Band, okay. This is a gold selling album, I'm pretty sure. $4. And then another War album, Deliver the Word. I believe this is also a gold selling album. And that's it. That is all I have. I wish that didn't take so long. Of course, I'm a huge chatterbox, and I like to talk about every little thing that I bring in here. Alrighty, well, I gotta wrap this up. It's late. Everybody else is sleeping, and I should really probably end this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment, recommend some albums that I should go out and get. I'd love to hear what albums you guys recently picked up, if you did. Make sure to comment down below for all that, and of course, once again, appreciate you so much for watching, and yeah, have a good rest of your day. Steph signing off.